Hello, YouTube. So I'd like to start this series of posts regarding my journey with mass aerobic function, or also known as low heart rate training, and my journey so far. So my name is Mike. I'm originally from New Zealand. I'm 51. I have a 25-year background in running. Initially had PBs as a fairly young person, but as I've aged, I've slowed down a little bit, but tried to maintain the same splits, Ks or miles, and it hasn't really been that successful. So being from New Zealand, I'm well aware of the Lydiard method, low heart rate, long Sunday runs, always in the hills. But the slowness of it didn't really make sense or appeal to me. So I didn't really go back to what I knew was the foundation, and continued really just to keep doing the same thing, which really was not working. So most recently, I did a MAF test, which would be figuring out what my maximum heart rate should be and staying under that. So the formula for MAF is 180 minus your age. So for me, it would be 129 beats per minute. And based on your age, based on your current fitness, you're going to add or subtract 5 from that. So if you are currently running fit, you can add 5, which will bring my heart rate up to 134. If you're a little on the sick side, maybe you're recovering from an illness, maybe your fitness isn't quite there, then you're going to take 5 beats per minute off the MAF, which would be 129. So 180 minus your age, that should be your base MAF. Add 5 if you're fit and you're running, subtract 5 if you're not doing too well, or if you're a little on the sick side. So my first MAF test was fairly interesting. I did the 5-mile test, which is recommended. I did it on a track on a day where there wasn't a lot of wind, warmed up a little bit, and I'd heard that the results could be pretty shocking. We would almost be at a walking pace. So I found that my average pace was 9:32 a mile. It took me 47 minutes and 39 seconds on a completely flat 400-meter track to do the MAF test over 5 miles. I was fairly happy with that. Obviously, it was nothing like the half marathon that I just run, where some of my miles were under 7 minutes a mile, or just over 7 minutes a mile. So a big difference. So fast forward 4 weeks, I've been doing MAF for 4 weeks, not quite, I'm 2 days shy of that, and I've seen some pretty remarkable results. So I've seen results drop by roughly 10 seconds per mile to 15 seconds per mile each week, and it just keeps dropping and dropping and dropping. So to give you an example of that, the MAF test, I was averaging 9:32 a mile with a heart rate of 134 beats per minute, not exceeding that. I did a long hilly run, which was 14 miles, almost 1,700 feet of elevation. And to put that in perspective, there was 400 feet of elevation in the first mile and a half. So a really tough run. Kept my heart rate as low as I could at 134 beats per minute. Wasn't easy. But I averaged 9:55 a mile. So 9:34 on a track, completely flat, to 9:55 a mile up on hills with a total incline of almost 1,700 feet over 1,400 miles. I just didn't think that was even possible. 2 days after that, I went for a run on the flat. So streets with maybe a gain of 50 feet at best, we'll call it sea level. And I saw my average pace drop to 9:09, but my heart rate down to 130. So it's been pretty crazy. What I have found with low heart rate training, though, is that my body does not like the constant cycle of running on the flat and the same repetition in terms of leg turnover. What it does like is it likes going up into the hills. I found that attacking hills, you have to really not concentrate on your heart rate, but concentrate on your breathing, and it's all about effort. And after about 3.5 weeks, I've pretty much figured my effort based on my breathing, based on how I'm feeling, correlates pretty much with my heart rate monitor. So the recommendation obviously is to run a chest strap. I have a background in emergency medicine. My advanced degree is actually in organizational leadership, so I don't have any background in exercise physiology. But from what I do know about the electrical conduction system of the heart, a chest strap is what you need for the most accurate measurement of heart rate data. The second best would be an optical upper armband, and the third best would obviously be a watch that takes an optical reading from your wrist. I have found with the watch, and that's what I've been using exclusively, is there is a little bit of lag with that. If you spike your heart rate and your heart rate drops, you can feel that based on perceived effort. It takes a long time for the watch to catch up. Whereas with a chest strap, I know it would be instantaneously. But because I've been training just with the watch, with the optical heart rate monitor on the watch, then it's fine because I can base my perceived effort on what I'm seeing on the watch. How I have the screen set up on the watch is I have heart rate and I have miles per minute, or k's per minute if you're in a metric country like New Zealand. I have that there not to watch my pace, but just so when I know I'm running easy, but I see my heart rate spike and I have a feeling it's wrong, I can look at the pace on the watch, the lap pace, and know that I am running at the correct pace. It's just that there is either a spike in the heart rate or a lag, just because it's an optical heart rate monitor and it's just going by capillary blood flow based on what it sees. So that's what I'm using. I'm hoping to get a chest strap, but for now I think the optical heart rate monitor on the Coros watch or the Garmin watch is just fine. So I'm going to document this journey as I'm going. I feel pretty positive about it. I feel that this is probably the most excited I've ever been about running. I've had a pretty miserable attempt at a marathon where I had a fairly predictable time, but as with all marathons, when you get to that crucial 17, 18, 19 mile mark or around 30K, you never know how it's going to unfold, and mine didn't unfold too well. So most recently, I've run a marathon in 3 hours, 50 minutes with pretty much walking the second half of it. I ran a half marathon in 1:36, also walking after mile 10. So I do have some promising fitness, but I've obviously struggled a little bit, and I feel that was because most of my running and most of the training plans I was following were all anaerobic based, which is high intensity. And knowing my body, it responds better to low intensity running, and clearly MAF training is working just right for me. So thank you for watching the video. I will put some screenshots up of my progress, and I'll keep you all informed. Thank you.